is elected at large, and meaning that city council members run and the entire city vote for them, and they represent the entire city. Now, there is a better system, which is called the ward system. And the reason that people, and it's no reflection on city council members, I don't, and it's just the whole system is not really that good. So again, the current council members, I think, are doing a good job, but you can't really keep that, because what if the next batch of councils don't do that? And what's going on now is that most city council members, if not all of them, live in one part of the city and they don't live in another part of the city. And residents in this part say, we're not really represented. We don't see these, we don't have representation. They want more different representation. I agree with them. And again, it's no reflection on the current council members. I think they're doing a good job. But the principle of representation is that somebody from your neighborhood represents you at the city. So, and these residents don't feel they are being represented. It's, they try to change that at, during when the city had a commission to change the charter, and they were not successful. The commission was not strong enough and didn't have really the guts to make these changes. And they didn't propose these changes. They backed away from it. And that commission dissipated. It's unfortunate that that commission did not really do anything to make changes in the city. And they proposed very small stuff, and they weren't really that major at all. It's just, housekeeping items. Anyway, I think this is a really good thing if they end up putting it on the ballot, and if it passes, it would change the makeup of the council. Now you get people from every neighborhood represented at the city council, which is really good. Again, and I say it again, it's no reflection on the current council. The current council is doing a good job, but it's just a matter of principle of representation needs to be that way. Another issue that needs to be addressed, which is, Dearborn and surrounding cities, I think they should change the form of government from a mayor form of government into a city council form of government. Here's the difference. A mayor form of government, a mayor is a politician who runs for office, gets elected, and that mayor runs the city. Most mayors are not fit to run the city. They're just politicians. And most mayors, they come into office, they bring their friends, and they hire their friends, they give them jobs, and that complication is not good. Okay. And the other thing is that it brings politics to the daily operation of the city, and that's not good either. What should happen is they should change charters into becoming a city council form of government, where the mayor and the council are elected by the people, and the mayor and the council hires a manager to manage the city. Okay, this manager is a professional. It's he or she are someone who have gone to school to learn how to manage a city, and then they start as assistant managers somewhere. They learn how to manage a city, and then after that, they become manager at the smaller cities. And then as they get more and more experience, they move up from one city to another. And as their record shows that they're competent enough to run a city, they move to a bigger city. Those managers are hired by the council at will, which is the council can fire them if they're not doing a good job. And then they run the day-to-day operation, not politicians. When politicians run the day-to-day operation, is not a good thing. And again, this is no reflection on anybody in any of the cities, Dearborn Heights, Detroit, others. It's no reflection on them, but it's just a matter of principle. The National League of Cities has done tremendous studies on this, and it shows that most cities that are a mayor-run are corrupt. Okay, they're prone to corruption, and they're corrupt, and they're not doing well. Cities that have gone into the other form of government, which is city council form of government, are more progressive. They're healthier financially. They're better cities, and they don't have as much corruption. This is, I think, another thing that also needs to be changed. And if you live in Dearborn and you see that item on the ballot, please vote for it to change the makeup of the council from the current system into another system. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to Al Shaba Restaurant at 2029 15 Mile Road in Sterling Heights, where you'll be treated to the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine. Enter into the exotic atmosphere of tantalizing aromas and enjoy our chicken or beef shawarma hummus, kebabs, specially seasoned Syrian-style beef burgers, babia fatouche salad, soups and sandwiches, plus desserts that include baklava, ice cream, and more. Just call in your order at 586-565-6661 or go to our website and place your order now at elshaba.square.site. That's elshaba.square.site. Then you'll see all there is to choose from. Try us today. You'll like us. We are located at 2097 15 Mile Road in Sterling Heights.
حادث سيارة، إصابة شخصية، لا تدع حقوقك تضيع. المحامية جمانة كيروز المتخصصة في حوادث السيارات والإصابات الشخصية تقف معك حتى تحصل على حقوقك التي تستحقها. $1,150,000، $900,000، $775,000، $700,000، $540,000، $395,000. ومؤخرا حصلت على تسوية بقيمة $3,500,000. اتصل الآن ودع جمانة كيروز تحقق العدالة التي تستحقها. الاستشارة مجانية. 248-557-3645. That's 248-557-3645. جمانة كيروز، اسم تثق به لتحصل على حقك كاملا.
Life for Relief and Development has now been rated as one of the best charities for humanitarian aid. Life's humanitarian projects span the globe, and Life is celebrating its 30th anniversary of providing essential life-saving aid to people and communities in 36 countries, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. Where there is life, there is hope. And when disaster occurs here or around the world, including being one of the first responders to the Turkey-Syria earthquake crisis, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. We are looking to help the earthquake victims, and we take 0% overhead on emergency donations. So please help improve these efforts. Learn more about our involvement to help the helpless and bring hope where it's needed most. And make your tax-deductible donation to Life for Relief and Development now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493. That's 248-424-7493.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with US Arab Radio. As you well know, that next year there's going to be a midterm election, including a Senate race to replace Senator Peters. And one of the candidates is our own Abdul El-Sayed. Good morning. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Khalil. Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to join you today, and really grateful to you for your leadership in our media space for so long. And it's an honor and a privilege to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. So before we talk about the race, tell us a little bit about you. Most of us know about you. You're in public health. You do a lot of work for this community, but you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, I think the part that most folks don't understand or don't know is that I am a doctor. I've worked in public health. I've served the city of Detroit and Wayne County, but I'm more the grandson of my grandmother, who was my teta. So I never got to go to school. She was the 9th of 14. She raised 6 kids of the 8 to whom she gave birth. And I'd spent a lot of my childhood summers, like many folks in our communities, with my teta. And she taught me in that time the real value of the opportunities I had growing up in America, an opportunity my cousins didn't have, and what that meant for me, and the contrast to what it meant to be able to be vaccinated against diseases that killed an aunt and uncle I never got to meet, to go to incredible public schools, an amazing public university, to get my medical education funded by a public agency in the NIH. And because of her experiences, losing 2 babies before they turned 1, and because of what I saw just 15 minutes away growing up in Oakland County, I could go 15 minutes into the city of Detroit. That's why I became a doctor. But too often in medicine, the things that make people sick have less to do with what's going on in their bodies and more to do with what's going on in society. Can you breathe clean air? Can you drink clean water? Can you walk in your community without being victimized by a neighbor or the state itself? Can you afford the groceries that offer the micronutrients that grow your brain instead of the macronutrients that grow your belly? Can you see a doctor in the first place? And I followed those interests into public health. I've led Detroit's health department, rebuilt it after it was shut down, and most recently led in Wayne County, doing things like eliminating medical debt for 300,000 people, putting up a comprehensive air quality monitoring unit and system for folks to get real-time information about the air they're breathing, and put Narcan, life-saving anti-opioid Narcan, in over 100 locations across Wayne County. So I'm somebody who's made government work for folks, but also recognize that we have an opportunity to think differently about how our government ought to be. Too often, people in our communities, the Arab and Muslim communities, we have spent time in places where the might of America has been misused against people who are innocent. And right now we're watching as our government is sending our tax dollars abroad to drop bombs on other people and their children in places like Lebanon or Gaza, instead of investing in our own kids here. And I think that's wrong. And I think we got an opportunity to both build for our folks here and build the kind of America that is truer to our ideals abroad.
Yeah. And I appreciate your telling us a little bit about you. You also touched up on the second question, which is why you want to run. This is a big race. So, why do you want to? I mean, now let me clear one thing. You're not a licensed doctor, are you?
I don't practice medicine day-to-day clinically, but I went to medical school and I also did a PhD in public health.
Yes. Okay. Now, why do you want to run again?
Yeah, so I'm running for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it is way too hard to get by in the richest, most powerful country in the world. We live in a country that has more largesse, more opportunity in it than any other place in the world, but that opportunity seems to miss most of us. It is too hard to be able to afford groceries. It is too hard to see a doctor. It is too hard to work a job that you've had and worked yesterday to work tomorrow and the day after. Right? It is too hard to get by in the richest, most powerful country in the world, and I think we can solve it. Now, the people who have told us that they are going to solve it for us, people like Donald Trump and other Republicans, they've just made it worse. They're gutting Medicaid to pass a tax cut for the richest people in our society and then force our kids and our grandkids to pay for it in the form of blowing out the national debt. I think that's completely wrong. I think that we need to be thinking about how do we address the challenges people face. So quite simply, I want to do three things. Number one, I want to take money out of politics. It is corporations who have been rigging our economy for way too long, and I want to make sure that they can't continue to use their billions to oppress the 350 million people in this country. Number two, I want to put more money in people's pockets, and that means standing up to big corporations who use their power and their size to pay us less and force us to pay more. It also means making this the best place in the world to build and scale a small business and making it easier to join or form a union. And then lastly, I want to pass Medicare for all. And it is high time in this country that every single person has healthcare. And that's why I'm running.
Absolutely. I can agree with you more. It's really heartbreaking to see all of the cuts that they have approved when it comes to Medicaid. And unfortunately, some of it will hit immediately. Some of it is going to take time for people to really realize what happened. How can we explain to people like you're gonna be screwed? I mean, this is not easy. You're gonna have to go to the doctor. There's gonna be you can't go to the doctor. How can we explain it to people?
Yeah, Trumpism is like a sugar high, right? Or it's like going out for a night out. You think it's a lot of fun until you wake up the next morning and realize that, oh my God, my life is in tatters. And that's what they are selling to the American public. They want to pass a huge tax cut for billionaires in a way that is going to gut healthcare. And what they're doing literally is they're going to build an army of government employees whose job it is to take away people's healthcare. That's what this looks like. And yeah, it might not happen tomorrow, but it's coming. And it's coming in ways that are going to decimate not just people who are Medicaid, but if you are somebody who uses healthcare in a rural or an urban community, you are also going to pay the cost, because what's going to happen is people are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to go to the emergency room, and then the hospital is going to have to figure out how to pay for it. So what they're going to do is they're going to renegotiate your rate as a privately insured or Medicare insured person in ways that are now going to redound to you. And a lot of those hospitals aren't going to survive because they're going to be forced to eat the cost. This is going to be bad for everyone. And yeah, it might not happen tomorrow, but now we know what's coming and we know who did it. And it is critical for all of us to remind people that when it starts to happen, it is going to be because they wanted to give billionaires even more money.
Yeah. How about seniors?
Seniors are going to suffer the cost of this too.
Yeah.
A lot of the healthcare that seniors get, right, is offered or covered through Medicaid. And the other part of this is that Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. Medicaid does for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose access to that. And so this is going to be bad for seniors. It's going to be bad for young people. It's going to be bad for folks who are, in the middle of life thinking that they're just going about their day. They're not covered on either Medicare or Medicaid. It's going to be bad for all of us. All why? The one group of people who are going to benefit. If you're a millionaire and you've never had to worry about where your healthcare comes from, you're about to make a lot more money off of this. And I just don't think that's fair.
How would they make a lot more money out of this?
So it's in the form of a tax cut, right? In the top 0.1% of our society, those folks make $4.3 million a year. They're going to make $389,000 back in tax cuts. That's money that should have and could have been spent to provide basic things for folks in our society. But we have this idea that somehow the only productive members of our society, right? That's what Trump wants to tell us, are millionaires and billionaires. And so you give them more money, but that's the thing. These people are just going to invest it in big businesses. And who suffers? All the folks, the rest of us who work in our communities, wanting to build a small business or wanting to provide or render services in our communities. That's who suffers.
In America, every time you say medical health, medical coverage for everyone, a lot of people scream socialism, and the American mind shuts down. Do you think now that people are going to lose their coverages, is this an opportunity for people to understand, I really need this?
So here's the thing, right? I believe in capitalism, but I believe that capitalism works best when there aren't monopolies, huge corporations who dominate every system of our lives. That's the kind of circumstance we live in. We don't live in a capitalism. We live in corporatism, right? And if you're serious about getting back to capitalism, it means you got to invest in people's abilities to actually start and grow small businesses. But right now, the main challenge to doing that is huge corporations who dominate every aspect of our lives. So look, they're going to scream socialism. I think that play is getting boring for a lot of people. And as they're losing their healthcare coverage, as they're watching their lives get less and less affordable, I think they're going to be looking to ask, all right, who really, really believes in capitalism here? Who's willing to build a capitalism that works for me? And too often, we fail to talk about that in ways that are serious and honest, because too often Democrats are taking money from the same corporations in the first place. So this is about building a movement that is honest about what capitalism ought to be and honest about the affordability crisis facing everyday people in our country.
Yeah. Running for Senate is a major race, and it's a statewide. It's a lot of work. What are you doing to reach out to even people who don't agree with you?
Well, if you can see, I'm in a hotel room right now. I'm in Holland, Michigan. That's not known as anybody's Democratic stronghold, but I'm here to talk to the folks who are here to listen, to learn about their challenges, and to propose solutions. And so we're going out all over the state. I've been to 30 plus communities across our state already, and we're 13 months out from the race. We go everywhere, we talk to everyone. And I know that when you can have those conversations with everyday folks, we've got answers to the challenges they face. And our job is to listen, learn, speak, engage with folks, and then build a movement of people built on the idea that we can actually have nice things. And I think if you can do it that way, you can take on a lot of the corporate money that comes into elections like this. You can take on a lot of the cynicism, and you can build something that is truer to what our government was supposed to be in the first place.
What kind of reception are you getting?
Well, when you fill up a 200-person room in Kalamazoo or 80 people in Petoskey, Michigan, 13 months before the race, right? And you listen, you learn, you speak, and you walk out to a standing ovation, I'd say our reception's been pretty good.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what's your a one-line message? What should people know about you?
It shouldn't be this hard. It doesn't have to be. Help us take the money out of politics, put the money in your pocket, and help us pass Medicare for all. And if folks are interested in that, go on over to abdulforsenate.com, get involved. You can volunteer, you can donate, you can become a part of this movement. I hope you will.
And why should people vote for you?
Well, because I'm somebody who is never supposed to be a politician. If you like career politicians climbing the greasy ladder in DC, I'm not your guy. If you like people who want to make government work for you, right? If you like people who are honest, straight up, and direct, than maybe I am. I hope that you'll join us. I hope that you'll follow us on social media, and I hope that we can earn your support.
And how can people reach you if they have any questions or if they need to help?
Oh, I lost you there for a second. Say it one more time.
Okay. How can people reach you if they need to help or they have any question?
Go on over to abdulforsenate.com and sign up, or reach out to us on social media. We're on all the major platforms at Abdul El-Sayed, on X, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow us, and I hope that you'll like what you see and you share our content and reach out to us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there anything I haven't asked you that people need to know?
No, but this is a movement that is truer to the ideals of democracy. And if democracy doesn't work for people, people aren't going to work for democracy. So I hope that folks will sign up. A lot of the folks listening know what it's like to live in a place where democracy doesn't exist. We got to protect ours, but that means making sure that it delivers for real people. That's what this movement's about. And I know that when we come together beyond our differences, we can build something that's greater than the sum of the parts. I watched my family do it. My father is an Egyptian immigrant. My stepmom, Jackie, who was born and raised in the heart of Michigan, her family has been here since before the Revolutionary War. I think we can do that as a country. That's what this movement's about. So I hope folks will join us.
Wonderful. Abdul El-Sayed is running for Senate for next year. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you, Khalid. Really appreciate you. Thank you for your leadership.
With more than 30,000 successful in vitro fertilizations, IVF Michigan is now ranked as one of America's best fertility clinics according to Newsweek magazine. IVF Michigan fertility centers are the recognized leaders in high-quality fertility care. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 9 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. A founding member, American board-certified Dr. Nicholas Shama, is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. He has performed over 20,000 successful IVF cases, and it's helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. When it's time to get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at one of America's best fertility clinics, call IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio toll-free at 855-952-9600. 855-952-9600.
Are you going to start a restaurant or a grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with US Arab Radio. As you well know, inflation is hovering around 2.7%. The Trump administration wants the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates, which hovers around 7% almost for loans. But the Feds are reluctant to cut rates, fearing we get into a recession. They're mainly concerned about tariffs and other issues. They don't want to get into a recession. There's that tension between the Feds and the Trump administration. And, so how does it really affect us? And how does it affect small business and businesses in general when if they want to really get any loans, and what are the avenues for businesses to get loans. And with us this morning is Alex Nouri. He's the CEO of Hancock Financial Services, a commercial lending brokerage firm based in Ann Arbor since 2013. He is a graduate of the University of Michigan in dual business and political science majors. He specializes in credit card and ACH processing since 2000, and the author of Smart Business Guide to Credit Card Processing, whatever business owner should know to avoid costly pitfalls. Alex, good morning, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. The interest rate is around 7 for lending, give and take 7, a little bit above 7, sometimes a little bit before less 7. And then inflation is 2.7%. What do you think? I mean, what is the Trump administration and its tariff policy? What are they doing there? I mean, it doesn't sound like really it's a good policy in regard to for businesses to be assured for lending or anything else. What are your thoughts?
Yes, as the Trump administration has stated clearly, their intention is to boost domestic production and America first and buy America, buy American products. But unfortunately, I think the policy is misguided because we don't really have all the supply chain that needs to be available, or most of it, in the U.S. over the past 30 years, particularly after NAFTA was adopted and put in place. A lot of manufacturers and manufacturing facilities shut down here, and they went abroad. And it would take anywhere between 4 to 10 years to build solid manufacturing plants in the U.S. Meanwhile, we end up paying much higher, essentially, for the tariff, consumers and businesses, all the products that are tariffed, and so there is no relief in the short term, and that would hurt consumers and businesses because of increased prices, and that in turn causes inflation.
This takes time. I think what's really getting everybody is the uncertainty. One day there is tariff, another day there isn't, and then there is a threat of tariffs. So, and businesses plan, and it must be really a nightmare for businesses to plan in this environment.
That's correct. Businesses rely on what's in it in the future for me. Not usually a short term, but long term, well into like next 2 to 4 years. And of course, there are lots of uncertainties, and it's not just domestically, but international events also affect prices, the shipping, and demand. So there's a whole slew of reasons why everyone should be concerned about essentially risk factor, but it's a lot easier to mitigate risk if there's certainty in future. Right now, we don't really have that certainty, and so a lot of as we see this as of this month, the report is that prices are being hiked by major retailers and even smaller businesses as a result of the tariff hike.
Sure.
Which are passed on to consumers ultimately, and that's not good for both consumers and businesses, because no business wants to see their sales decline because of higher prices. Consumers love lower prices.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to lending, do tariffs really affect the outlook for lending for banks, for special lending institutions like yours and others?
Yes. First and foremost, banks are usually very conservative, and they become more conservative, and they adopt more stringent underwriting guidelines. So a lot of banks now are pulling out completely from certain industries, depending on what they specialize in, what they don't, what they feel comfortable with, and what not. So it's all to essentially mitigate risk and their exposure to unperforming portfolios that they have. For businesses, sure, there are businesses who, particularly importers, the ones who end up buying a lot from overseas, particularly from China, and as opposed to buying their products from mostly domestic manufacturers. And they wonder now whether they should borrow money right now. And there are lenders who specialize, private lenders who specialize in lending to businesses such as manufacturers, wholesalers, distributors, etc., that are having a little hard time at this point. Not completely, but hard time to lend money if there's that uncertainty about performance by the borrower.
Yeah. What's the difference between private lending and public lending?
Well, public lending, essentially, I suppose you're referring to the banks.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right. Banks are essentially are far more restrictive in what they lend, and they have to abide by guidelines set by the Federal Reserve and Federal Bank, Federal Reserve Bank. But private lenders deal with their own money, so they don't have to abide by those stringent guidelines, and so they could be far more flexible.
Okay, so you get the flexibility,
taking the risk.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. When it comes to the Fed's reluctant to drop down the rates, are they doing the right thing? I mean, it sounds to me 2.7 is really a good target number. They don't feel comfortable. They wanted to get down to 2. I mean, it may take 2 years to get down to 2 because interest rates are pretty high now.
Yes, they do. This is a matter of wait and see, I think, kind of a situation. Yes, as you're saying, 2.7% is not bad. The worry here is that it could, I think the worry is that it could jump above 2.7%, even above 3% quickly. And so they need to have a cushion period. That's what they're worried about. It's a future forecast. Hopefully it'll stay at 2.7 and even below. So there's no reason to adjust the rates.
Now, when the rates are high, businesses may not be as successful as getting loans from banks and lending institutions. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because the cost, first of all, there's that stringent underwriting guideline that I mentioned, plus the cost of obtaining the loan.
Yeah.
For some businesses, it could be cost prohibitive. Every penny counts, let alone dollar. Sure.
So when it comes to private lending, like your institution, does it make it easier for them to lend, or how is it different from the standard bank?
Yes, as I said, the underwriting guidelines would be far less stringent. Private lenders essentially are willing to take higher risk, and there are short-term loans, often called merchant cash advance for retailers and restaurants, mom and pop, brick and mortar. There are other loans that are based on accounts receivable and purchase orders for importers, for other manufacturers, and even for domestic service providers that generate invoice to their existing customer base. There's a lot of flexibility.
Sure. What size loans are we talking about?
We're able to offer loans to essentially mom and pop, brick and mortar, retail and restaurant operations, anywhere from usually 20,000 to 2 million, which is quite substantial.
Sure.
For companies that have accounts receivable and purchase order financing, even trade financing, it's a little more difficult now in the trade financing. But things are there's gonna be a healing in the market, I believe, and the administration will find a way. I'm sure. It's a matter of just adjusting to realities. So for those companies, and it could be in construction, manufacturing, as I said, importers, exporters, wholesalers, distributors, a number of different industries.
Before we talk about industries,
it could be anywhere. My apologies, but 50,000 to about 6 million, and the sweet spot is is from 2 to 4 million, and that would be on accounts receivable and purchase order. And short-term loans are possible to minimum $1 million, going up to, in certain cases, up to 10 million.
Before we talk about the type of industries that could benefit from this, we're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Life for Relief and Development has now been rated as one of the best charities for humanitarian aid. Life's humanitarian projects span the globe, and Life is celebrating its 30th anniversary of providing essential life-saving aid to people and communities in 36 countries, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. Where there is life, there is hope. And when disaster occurs here or around the world, including being one of the first responders to the Turkey-Syria earthquake crisis, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. We are looking to help the earthquake victims, and we take 0% overhead on emergency donations. So please help improve these efforts. Learn more about our involvement to help the helpless and bring hope where it's needed most. And make your tax-deductible donation to Life for Relief and Development now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493. That's 248-424-7493.
A car accident can change your life in an instant. As a result of a car accident, you may become unemployed. As a result of a car accident, you may need a lot of medical treatment. People think that insurance companies are on their side. Why? Because they're giving them one or two benefits. Are they giving them all the benefits they deserve? How would one know unless you consult with an attorney? Call the law offices of Joumana Kairouz at 248-557-3645. 248-557-3645.
Welcome to Al Jaba Restaurant at 2029 15 Mile Road in Sterling Heights, where you'll be treated to the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine. Enter into the exotic atmosphere of tantalizing aromas and enjoy our chicken or beef shawarma hummus, kebabs, specially seasoned Syrian-style beef burgers, babia fatouche salad, soups and sandwiches, plus desserts that include baklava, ice cream, and more. Just call in your order at 586-565-6661 or go to our website and place your order now at elshaba.square.site. That's elshaba.square.site. Then you'll see all there is to choose from. Try us today. You'll like us. We are located at 2097 15 Mile Road in Sterling Heights.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. We're talking to Alex Nouri of Ann Arbor, and we're talking about lending during this really puzzling time in the economy. So we were talking about industries. What kind of industries do you lend to?
We lend to many industries, retail and restaurant, brick and mortar is one. These are considered essentially small merchants. And a few of the industries I could cite would be manufacturing, wholesalers, distributors, retailers, in the energy sector, construction, subcontractors, and even to certain industries that we consider high risk, trucking and transportation, as well as cannabis industry, farming, facilities for cannabis.
What makes your institution, different than others? And I did ask you that before, but after we talked about these different things, if you just reiterate what makes it different.
Sure, I think the first and foremost is the will of the will to go out essentially and help merchants who are in need of money.
Yeah.
Our underwriting guidelines are, and those other private lenders that we collaborate with, are far less stringent than banks. So if your local bank has said no, there's a very good chance that we could say yes. The timing, the length of time it'll take to approve an application, it could be anywhere between 2 days to 7 days from application to the actual funding itself. Whereas an application by a bank could take weeks, even into months, if there's a chance there, a lot of times. We also may be able to offer a line of credit. In fact, based on existing asset, and we call it asset-based lending. So both loans as well as line of credit of up to about $2 to $3 million. So. And
you still have to qualify
we also have a particular program that's line of credit with no application, and it's based on credit score of at least 680 and above, within a decision to be made within usually 4 hours, up to $200,000.
Yeah. Even though the guidelines are not as strict, but you still, a customer would still have to qualify for these loans.
Yes, that's correct. They have to qualify. We don't accept any existing bankruptcy, and for example, and credit score couldn't be less than usually 600, and whereas again with banks, you'd need a lot higher, credit score. And we take other factors into consideration too, whether if someone is post-bankruptcy, whether there are obligations that needed to be met and they're being met. And so we look at the entire picture.
Sure.
Number of factors.
Yeah.
We don't just simply say no because you're coming from this industry and that's not good for us. willing to look at just about any industry and any person, as long as we see that there is the propensity on the part of the applicant, the borrower, prospective borrower, to be able to repay the loan.
Yeah. As far as rates, how compatible are you to, of course, if you're dealing with private, the rate's going to be a little bit higher, or maybe not.
If it's a loan that could be up to 5 years, by the way, it could be in mid-teens.
Okay.
It all depends. Currently, it could be anywhere between, I would say, 11 to 15%, but nothing is set in stone.
Sure.
In terms of account receivables and purchase order financing, that's usually not called a loan. It's called factoring. So the typical commitment that any such borrower offers is usually about 2 years. And we pay, essentially, we buy the future receivables, which are up to 90 days, and advance them money today, based on a particular, very reasonable formula that doesn't really cost them an arm and a leg. It's very manageable, and it's difficult to say exactly how much, but
cases differ.
Pardon me?
Said cases differ from one person to the other.
Every case is usually different. Yes, that's correct. But it's very manageable.
Sure.
Underwriters would have to look at the entirety of the application, and the picture to be able to offer factoring funding, or even in combination with maybe a short-term loan as well, along with that, or even a line of credit, and even also offer a certain amount for the existing, based on the equity, the assets, the current assets that they have, and also based on the assets that they want to acquire with the money that we could advance. So it could get complicated, but it can be done.
Yeah,
get it done.
If somebody has any questions, they need to reach you. How could they reach you?
Yes, they could go to our website to get more information. It's Hancock, HANCOCK, financialservices.com. They could also shoot us an email at deals, DEALS, at Hancock Financial Services. And or they're more than welcome also to call 734-212-2342.
Yeah. Appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Bye now.
Welcome to Al Shaba Restaurant at 2029 15 Mile Road in Sterling Heights, where you'll be treated to the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine. Enter into the exotic atmosphere of tantalizing aromas and enjoy our chicken or beef shawarma hummus, kebabs, specially seasoned Syrian-style beef burgers, maybe a fattoush salad, soups and sandwiches, plus desserts that include baklava, ice cream, and more. Just call in your order at 586-565-6661 or go to our website and place your order now at elshaba.square.site. That's elshaba.square.site. Then you'll see all there is to choose from. Try us today. You'll like us. We are located at 2097 15 Mile Road in Sterling Heights.
A car accident can change your life in an instant. As a result of a car accident, you may become unemployed. As a result of a car accident, you may need a lot of medical treatment. People think that insurance companies are on their side. Why? Because they're giving them one or two benefits. Are they giving them all the benefits they deserve? How would one know unless you consult with an attorney? Call the law offices of Jumana Kiruz at 248-557-3645. 248-557-3645.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. I want to thank you for being with us this hour. I want to thank all our guests, Abdul El-Sayed and also Alex Nouri for being on the show. As I mentioned at the beginning of the program, the Senate race is going to be a very interesting race. There are a lot of names in it. It's going to be an expensive race, so it's good to watch and then see what's going to happen. And then interest rates issue continues to develop, and I hope that the Fed's, at least one or two cuts this year to ease up the loan issue. So I hope that's going to happen soon. As far as the ward issue on the ballot, I encourage you to vote for that. It's very important that people get representation, and this is what this whole thing is all about. It's about representation. Again, it's no reflection on the current council. It's just the principle of representation. People feel that need to be represented on the council. The final 2 minutes, I just want to update you on the housing market. As you well know, I work in the real estate industry and as a real estate consultant and expert. And the market is good. If you have a home to sell, this is still a great place, a great time to sell. And then we do commercial. And, if you're looking to take on a commercial project and that is a cement project, cement plant, there are some folks who have been running their cement plant for 50 years in the area here in Wayne County, and they want to retire. And this is really, really great deal. They will be training you. They get you going. This is the best way to get a business, is to get a business that's running, that's making money. You come in, you take over, and then you make money as well with your ideas and new, new ideas and new energy and new blood. Please give me a call if you're interested, 313-819-0101. 313-819-0101. We also have a building in the area here as well. It's about 5,000 square feet. It's a really good building if you have any other, you need a storage or you need to open any retail. It's a great building as well. 313-819-0101. Thank you for listening. You have a wonderful weekend. The weather is great. Enjoy it. Thank you, Mike, for great production. Have a good weekend. Bye now.